Let's kick things off. And again, it's a bit of a mixed bag this week on the CVOL front. We got a lot of red on the screen, but a couple lone exceptions, like number one, energy CVOL popping a bit, about 46 and a quarter, up about 1.25 points right now. That is not the high for the week. It's close to it, though. The high was actually 46.78, so a little over half a point south of the high, but pretty close to it right now. The low was about 45, 44.99 to be precise. So leaning towards the upside here in energy right now. Then a whole mess of dark side looking at commodities next, 31.42, up about 1/10 of a point today. But energy and commodities both have something in common. They only have one day where they are green for the week, and that is today, because commodities are pretty much pinning the needle to the downside right now, pretty close to that level. Obviously, they're up 0.09 today, so the low was pretty much 31.33 down there. So interesting stuff out there. So right at the low right now, the high was 33.04, so at the low end of its 52-week range for the commodity CVOL. Treasury price vol also coming in a little bit right now, 5.14, off 0.12, probably reflecting this 100% certainty that we are going to see pretty much a Fed rate cut out there next week. I don't think I can remember the last time the Fed watch was this certain in one direction. The Treasury price vol coming in all week with the exception of one day. That is the low level for the week, the high 5.86. So coming in almost 3/4 of a point. That's a big move for Treasury price vol ahead of a big announcement next week. That's interesting that they would be so willing to just smack vol before we know for certain what's going on out there. Next, we have the ag product CVOL, 19 2/3 today, off 0.18. The low was actually 18.90 and the high was 19.84. A great year and an interesting vol level for the ags. The ags and the energy are the lone exceptions to the rule. They're both near their highs for the week. Everything else is getting clobbered, including FX, 7.56 today, off 1/4 of a point. That's a lot of juice in the world of FX vol. And that is the low for the week, the high 8.38. So coming in quite a bit on the week, man. They're smoking FX vol as well. Below, we have the metals vol also coming back to earth this week, 18.07, off over a point, about 1.1 points just today. So they're coming for it today. That is the low for the week, the high 20.25. So they're off 2.2 points on the week for metals vol. That's fascinating. And then at the end of our list, we have the Treasury yield volatility, always a wild number to come to grips with. 93.5 today, off about 2.5 points. That is the low for the week, the high 109.60. So pretty much everything pinning the needle to the dark side this week, with the exception of energy and the ags.